I am doing my little intro. Shut up. I'm going to do, and then I'm going to go straight into the Shadowrun intro. So hi everyone. Welcome to this week's adventure of Shadowrun. They're all making noises in my ears, but they don't realise that their sound isn't actually coming through. So you can't hear them. I can just hear them messing about. They're going to get told off and told to stand in the corner pretty soon, I tell you. Pretty soon. Anyway, my headphones are not on straight at all. Anyway, I'd just like to welcome you to tonight's adventure, Shadowrun RPG, and we've got a really exciting adventure tonight because we left the party in a really exciting phase of their run, and I will let you into the whole secret about what's going on as soon as I run the titles for this week. Here is the titles for Shadowrun. Bah. Don't talk, and go. Welcome everyone. Do you know, I can't. I used to get the Shadowrun.
You cannot.
I used to get the intro just to stay up, but now I can't get it to stay up at all. I really don't know. I've got it on. You've got it on
a loop.
Well, it says there's an option that says hide source when playback ends. And I've got that not ticked. But it just seems to still just stop it. It just makes it disappear.
Just have the ending go for longer.
Well, I have, but then I'll have to go back into the actual setup and redone the... I should have done it when every time you change characters. That should have been the easiest thing to do. Every time. Right, hello and welcome to this week's exciting adventure of Shadowrun, 5th edition. You join me here tonight with 3 of my regulars down below who are in a rather interesting situation. And before we start, I'm going to let them introduce both themselves and their characters. And we'll start down there, as usual, with the marvellous, magical, Madam
Mr. Mustopheles.
Chugawugga. Go for it.
Oh. Hello, I'm Chugawugga. I am playing Stanley Lovely, who goes by the name of Studley. That's his street handle. He's a combat mage, pretty new to the shadow running, to be honest with you. He used to be an investigative journalist where he used to work for the SBC, the Southside Broadcasting Company. But due to various cutbacks, he's now unemployed and has had to take up shadow running for some extra money. That's it.
Sorry. I thought you didn't sound as if you had come to the end. Your intonation wasn't correct.
I was at the end.
Okay, so pass it along to Longshanks EPG.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks EPG. I play Hector, who is the face of the group, and he's also pretty nifty.
What was that?
You went then. You have to stop your porn downloading. You went, who's the face of the group?
And
You went
No, I
like
didn't. Don't lie. No, I didn't.
what else are you about for the face of the group?
Pretty nifty with the pistol.
Excellent.
He's also a robot.
Yeah. And finally, on the end, right way down there, we have Big Beastie.
I am Big BC, and I am playing Billy Bob. He is the tank of the group. He's an orc and ex-military, ex-British soldier. So yeah,
Excellent.
He's currently in the poop shoot.
The what?
Literally, yes.
Shoot.
Yeah, the shoot. I think it has a I'm not too sure what you said there. Actually, and joining them on this adventure as well, they have Athena, who is a decker rigger who lives in Olympus, and the party have her accompanying them on this week's adventure. So let me give you a brief synopsis of what's happened and where they're going and what they need to do. So the party have been hired by their new Mr. Johnson, who is called Charlie, and they've been brought together to alter a will. So what's basically happened is that there is an ex inventor, who has actually two twins, obviously, and Marcus Lucindus is his name, and he has two twin siblings called Marcus Jr. and Elizabeth. And Marcus Jr. actually did the nasty and has changed his father's will in order that he gets all the money. Now, Elizabeth, quite naturally, is not happy about this and has hired the runners through Mr. Johnson, called Charlie. Now, what actually has happened is that the party has been sent in on various missions, and each of them quite uniquely has a specific role to do, which I have a funniest feeling is going to fall to bits any second. Just count those seconds. Anyway, what's happened is that Marcus Jr. has actually hired some rather low-level guards to guard the house to ensure that nothing happens while he goes out of town for a short period of time. And so everybody has a specific job to do. So Studley's job was to get from the wall to an outside building, which he did via...
I managed to get there via a concealment from a spirit that I requested a service from.
Called...
And then when arriving at the door, I heard that there were some dogs inside. So I conjured up, using another one of my spells, a cat, which ran off towards the gate with the dogs changing it because they both glitched
Changing
on there. Chasing it.
Have you got your teeth in?
And then it's this water. In it. And now I am in the shed now with a computer system, waiting to be provided with a code from Billy Bob so that I can access the computer and start wiping the data from a USB stick or some type of data chip, which Athena has provided for me. And once that's done...
That has some sort of virus on it to do it, yeah.
Yeah, I will then be given from Hector the new signed
will,
which I can then upload, and then that is my job done, and I will be departing ASAP.
Yeah, well done. There was only one thing that you forgot to mention. You had to bring in something.
Oh, I bought it in a drone.
Yeah, a Lockheed Optic.
Yeah, a Lockheed Optic drone, which I placed after Billy Bob helped me over the wall, which although Studley's a rather a portly gentleman, he did manage with getting a success on 2 dice. He got 1 success.
He
and
did,
managed to
I
get over
remember
the wall safely without glitching or anything. So that's where he is now.
Yeah, so a Lockheed...
he's waiting. He's getting a bit impatient. The drone's up and running.
Excellent. So a Lockheed Optic X2 drone is a vertical short takeoff and landing drone, and that is controlled by Athena, who is patrolling. And I think she actually did warn you about the dogs in the shed. I'm not too sure about that. I think she picked it up on thermographic.
She did, yeah. A VSTOL.
Yeah, VSTOL, that's correct. Now, meanwhile, Billy Bob, being the tank of the group, actually went through a sewer works.
A sewer? A shit.
And has actually crawled along a very narrow chute to the entrance to the basement, because Billy Bob's job is to get into the basement, find somebody and get the password from this person by means it's up to him to provide the password so Studley can actually hack into the computer and then download the virus which Athena has given him. While this is all happening, the face of the group, Hector, has been disguised by an extra person that they paid for the disguise. Rating 3, is it?
4.
I think I went for 4.
Yeah, a rating 4 journalist. And he has gone in the front door, and being the face has sort of like led the charge and is trying to get up to the old man's bed chambers to actually get him to alter the ring. They will. Now, he does have a ring with him that has a spell attached to it. So when he touches the gem inside underneath the cap, will actually turn him into, will cast a mask spell, which will actually turn him into the daughter, and then that will hopefully encourage the and there's a secret phrase there as well, hopefully encourage the father to change the will, and then the will can be sent off to Studley, who will put it in, and the other twin will never know until the father dies, and then that's it. The will come into existence, and lo and behold, the nasty evil twin will find out that he's actually gained nothing at all, and Elizabeth will be very pleased. So it's a bit complex, and everybody is in different places around. Currently, you can see that this is the house that Jack built. This is where we are. This is the basement that they got the house plans from one of Hector's contacts. And basically, hopefully, Billy Bob is going to come into the basement somewhere. And Hector is currently here quizzing, I think.
Interviewing
a young lady who is a maid who started 2 days ago. Who, I don't know why, but when I said this person's name, Chugga just sort of like lost it.
It wasn't when you said that. It wasn't when you said the name. It was when Longshanks was doing the asking things, and he asked about the father, and the maid said, "Well, he's nearly dead."
Oh, yes, that was it. Yeah.
And then he asked about the son. What can you tell me about the son? And she said, he's not dead.
And that was Betty's, I even forget the surname now, but Betty's total response to it. And if you remember, we left the game with Betty agreeing, and the guard outside agreeing for this to happen, for Betty to take Hector on a guided tour of the bottom floor of the house. And that's when we left.
Was it the bottom floor, or was it the first 2 floors? Because the guard said, remember, keep off the top floor.
Yeah, it might be. We'll have a look at that. We'll see how charming Hector is in his roles as we come across. Now, I do think, and I've got it written down here, that Hector, you've got no edge left.
No edge.
Cool, excellent. So
I think Hector normally relies on other people's edge anyway.
Hector doesn't
you know, one of these days, you're actually going to drop that, and so like,
Can I have an edge?
now, just over the Discord, in between the games, we were just we were talking about what watched back the video, and I wasn't aware of what Hector had actually taken with him. And in the chat, you said that you had your line coat, a taser, yes, a survival knife, and a knuckle duster. I think that was the case.
And another pistol.
And then I think you said, "Can I change it?" So let's just remember that there's two ways to observe. We can actually do a patting down or just a simple observation via the concealability rules. So to actually see concealed weapons, then it would be, I would roll my perception plus my intuition, and it's a mental limit. Now, is your taser a light pistol? Is that what it's classed as?
I believe it is.
It is, but it's unrated. It's got no restrictions on it at all.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's just sort of like the modifier. So if it's a light pistol, then I would get -2 to see it, -2 dice, plus your line coat would give me another -1. So I would get -3 to notice it. So I would roll my perception plus my intuition. I would roll those dice, and with a -3 on that dice roll. And if I scored just one success, then I've noticed the weapon. And that's it. Okay. Now, if I went to pat you down, you can actually, if you wish, actively try to hide it, which is a complex action, but you need palming for that. And I'm not too sure whether or not you have palming.
No.
No.
Oh, no, I do. No, I do have palming.
Okay, so that would be palming plus your agility. That would be the dice rolls that you roll. And then I would roll my perception plus intuition minus those 3 dice minus those 3 dice. And again, if I get just one success more than you, a net success, then I would have seen it. And then you add it down.
I think the other important thing to realise is just because a weapon isn't restricted doesn't mean that they're going to let you carry it anywhere. Yeah. You know, you can carry guns in the US, but you know, you try getting close to the president with one.
Topical.
You know, they're not restricted, but you're not going to, you know,
that's true.
They're not going to let you close to a person who they might be protecting with it. Just my.
Okay then. So here we go.
Political.
Let's just check that. Let's go around the houses, and then Hector will come to you last, and then because you'll be the one, so I'll just check with Studley and Billy Bob if they would need to do anything, because they're virtually waiting at the moment, and then if not, we'll come back to you. So Studley first. Is there anything that you need to do or would like to do?
Well, at the moment, I mean, Studley's in this thing. He's aware of the time ticking on. He's given the go ahead to Billy Bob to say that he was in position. He's waiting for the first bit of information from Billy Bob. So until he gets that, he's going to wait for a bit. Okay,
cool. And Billy Bob, is there anything you would like to say?
Yeah, he's Billy Bob wants to get in there now. He's got the go ahead from Norman.
Studley.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got the go ahead saying that he's in position. So now he's gonna get in there and get this password.
Okay then. So if you remember, you've got like a wooden thing in front of me. So let me just get this right. Studley, you have said that you need the password so Billy Bob can now get into the basement. Yeah, is that what's happened?
Yeah. So Studley is waiting for the password because he needs access to the archives so that he can start uploading the virus, so that that's complete before he gets the next bit. And I've no idea how that bit's going to take.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I need to get it done as soon as possible because it could take an hour,
or it could take 5 seconds.
Yeah, it could be either of them. We don't have that information.
Yeah,
I suppose whilst Studley's waiting, can he get on comms with Athena?
Yes, she's part of the running team, so you can get in touch with her anytime you want.
So yes, I mean Studley's going to get in touch with Athena. Then he's going to say, "Hello, it's Studley, over."
I just oh, Studley, how are you going in the shed?
Oh, it's all tiggly-boo in the shed.
Everything's clear up high here.
That's excellent. Are the dogs still there?
They seem to be yapping at something that jumped over the wall.
Yes. It's one of my spells, it was. This data chip that you're giving me with the various diddly-boos on it, how long is it going to take?
Virus, my darling.
Yes.
It's a virus.
Yes. How long is it going to take?
To do what?
To do it, whatever it does.
To wipe the database?
Yes.
Well, depending how big the database is, anything up to from 5 seconds up to 2.5 minutes.
Right. Oh, okay. 2.5 minutes, fine. Okay, thank you.
Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go?
No. No, still waiting.
Billy Bob.
I'm in position.
Billy Bob, are you in position?
Roger.
Happy in the tube?
Like a pig in dumb.
Excellent. Keep calm. And wait patiently. It is important that you wait patiently there. Could you just, Billy Bob, can you just, I know. Can you just roll for me, please, your willpower?
Just the willpower, yep.
Yeah.
Apply wounds? What? Am I wounded?
No, just say yes. If you're wounded, it will. If not, it won't.
No, just say yes, and it probably won't do anything.
Oh, you critically glitched. Nice one.
What are you up to on willpower?
Okay. Yeah, you feel quite reassured by Athena's dulcet tones wafting down the intercom, and you definitely feel that she almost is like in charge, and you sort of like imagine her from almost like the authority of some ex-sergeant major, but not actually with the gruffness. And you sort of like settle back down. You're still a bit, but you understand the line of authority. And it's interesting that she almost like encourages you to stay there, not with the gruffness of being in the army, but more of a gentle persuasion. Okay, back over to Hector and Betty Boo. Bless you.
Okay, shall we?
Did somebody sneeze then?
No,
I
don't think so.
No,
I heard somebody go, and then turn their mic off, and I thought somebody sneezed. Okay.
I think it must have been the sub-vocal mics. It's fine.
Okay, Hector.
Lead on then, Betty.
Yes. So I'm going to move your token as she gives you the guided tour. So if any time, Hector, you want to stop or do something different, then just tell me. Otherwise, your token go like that all over the place. But rather than putting on somebody else and moving it, I'll just move you. So she takes you out of these double doors. And then she takes you into this room. That appears to be some kind of drawing library room. And she says, this is where the books are. These are the books, and you come here to read. You can see the windows directly opposite you, Hector, sort of like casting in, looking out over the rolling landscape of the surrounding areas. And then
are there any portraits in there?
No, just
that's
bookcases.
One of the reasons why I was going on the tour. Just bookcases.
Just bookcases. Okay. All the portraits were in this room.
Okay.
That was when she said that, if you remember, I said that there was one of the guy and one of the siblings in there.
Yeah.
And she's sort of like, and she stops you here, and you notice that there's a guard sort of like stood by the bottom of the stairs, and she sort of like, she says, and I cleaned this carpet. This is one of the carpets that I clean. And she takes you into this room, and this is the place that you come to. And she looks round as if trying desperately to decide what the room is, and she sees two chairs in front of a window and says, to sit and look out the window. And you can see from this one, out of the bay window, you can see in the distance, you can see the outside buildings that you presume Studley's actually hiding in. And she takes you back outside here, and she goes, and I clean this carpet. This is a carpet that I clean. And she
looks like Hector takes a look and goes, if it looks pretty clean, he will say, "It looks good. It's nice and clean. That's good."
And this is where we have well, I don't, but they have things to eat. I think it's called a dinning room, and we have dinning here, dinner here, and I don't sit here, but they often sit here and have their dinner. And
does that include the father? Does he come down a lot, or?
No, he stays in his bed because he's dying. We don't move him. And this is the kitchen, and this is the kitchen here, and this is where we make dinner.
Do you help with that, or is there a cook as well?
No, I'm a maid. I just maid things and clean things. And she points to this door here, and she says, and that's the entrance to the basement and the service.
Oh, okay.
And that we're not allowed to use the main stairs, so we have to use those stairs to go up and down to the other rooms. And she sort of like, yeah, go.
Sorry, say what you were going to say.
I'm just going to carry on moving.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. And she takes you through this door. And you can see that there's a set of stairs obviously going up and one coming down. And this sort of like appears here. And she says, so this is the where we come up and down here. And we sort of like go up and down there, and she sort of like points to these two doors, one to your your left, and one up at the front. She says, and that's where we live. And she takes you through here, and you can see that there's a different guard on this floor, and she sort of like, she points to the bathroom, which you know of in any case. She says, this is the bathroom, and she goes across, and she takes you into this room, and she says, this is one of the big bedrooms that we have. And
so does anybody use this room? Or...
No.
Okay.
This was where I was told this is where the girl used to live here. This is where she was, and that's a bathroom.
Very nice. Hector says, poking his head into the bathroom.
And this is an office, and there's a cupboard just there.
Okay.
And this is a cupboard for like linen and bed covers.
Very nice.
The guard at the end is sort of like says, "Go on, Betty, get a move on, and she sort of goes, yes, Bert, sorry, yeah, I'm just showing this gentleman around." And she sort of like she says, can I use these stairs? And Bert goes, "Oh, just this once, Betty, just this once." And so she brings you back down the stairs here and takes you into this room and says, is there anything else you need from me?
Well, I was hoping to... I noticed that there was 3 floors, and I know you said we weren't meant to go on the 3 floors, but is there any chance that you could show me the top floor as well? You know, I need to make sure this article is as thorough as possible, and I've got a big portion for you, but unfortunately I haven't really got very much for the reason why I was here, and I was hoping you could, help me out with that.
She looks extremely sort of like concerned and worried, but if you would like to make what is the roll that you need, like a persuasion roll?
Okay.
I forget what it's called.
I've got con. I can't say that word. Impersonation would be performance, negotiation.
Yeah, you're going to have to do a performance roll, because you're not trying to con her into anything. You're trying to more sort of like persuade her to do something.
Yeah. 2 successes.
Hang on, because you need the modifier first, don't you?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because
I didn't realise I had the modifier.
Well, yes, you will do, because she's really sort of like worried, and you sort of like got to get over her, because she knows that the guards won't let her. So you're going to have a -3 to your dice roll.
3 successes, I do better.
And she says, okay, we can try, and she sort of like takes you back out here, and sort of like takes you up the stairs, and the guard here sort of says, Betty, where are you going? And she sort of like says, this gentleman wants to see the top floor. And he sort of like says, oh, why do you want to see the top floor?
Well, I've got lots of really good material so far for my article, but it's mainly about the house and dear Betty here. And I was just hoping the top floor might have some more hints about the owners, so that for my article, because it's not going to be a very good article, and my boss is the editor is going to be really annoyed at me if I don't get this piece just right. So I was hoping that the 3rd floor might help out with that, to save me getting into trouble.
He looks incredibly suspicious, and so like he's sort of like thinking he's not too sure why the top floor would sort of like help with an article, and he sort of like looks at you quite so like, why do you need to do this? So con him. and you're going to be at -2.
3 successes.
He sort of like says, Betty, you go away. I'll take this journalist up to the top floor. And sort
Thank
of
you very
like,
much, sir.
moves you up to here. And then gets to this point and says to the other guy, Bert says, "Where are you going, Mick?" And he says, "This guy wants to see the top floor." And Bert sort of says, "Bit irregular, isn't it?" And Mick said, "That's what I thought, but I'll show him. I'll show him where it is." And Bert sort of like thinks, "Oh right, bit, yeah." And he sort of like he watches you as you go up the stairs with Mick, and he seems to be watching you intently as you go up the see, where's me? Oh, there. As he goes, as you go up the stairs. Just 1 second. I just need to make a roll. Ba ba ba. Okay, so you get up to the top floor, and the Mick says to you, well, here's the top floor. And he goes, bedrooms, bathrooms, sitting room. That's it.
As soon as he points to the sitting room, Max goes, "Oh, sitting room. Do you mind if I have a look? I'm hoping
Yeah, well,
for any insight to.
It doesn't have a door on it. Can you see? It doesn't have a door on.
Yeah.
So he sort of like takes you through to the city room. Okay, Studley, what would you like to do? Is there anything you would like to do?
You're muted.
Sorry, I was doing something else. How much time's passed since Studley's got into here?
Well, real time for this conversation that's been going on now. So that's been virtually real time. So you would have thought about 20 minutes, half an hour.
He's going to get onto comms again, and he's going to
Gentlemen, are we any closer?
You hear Athena's voice sort of like waft over the airways, and she goes, "Gentlemen."
Oh, yeah, sorry, and lady, of course. But I was referring to more of Mr. Bob and Hector.
You hear Hector coming over on his subvocal mic, going, "On the top floor now. I have a close friend though."
Do you need help?
Not at the moment. See how it goes.
Okay, Mr. Billy Bob, is there anything you would like to do?
He's just waiting for the go-ahead to get into the cellar or get through this.
Okay, so you're feeling. I mean, Billy Bob, you're quite annoyed at the moment because you're being stuck into this tube, and you're just there, and you're not the sort of person that sort of like sits in a tube all day, aren't you? You really are not, and you're sort of like thinking, good grief, how long do I need to sit in this wet, smelly tube? And you can
That's
almost
the exact words he would be thinking.
yeah,
Good
and
golly.
you almost like getting to the stage now that you're just sort of like thinking that it's time to go, you know, and you're waiting for the command, and you sort of like talk over the airways and you say, "Are we going? Are we going? Are we going? Now?
We're there yet.
Are we there? Yeah. Shall I go? Shall I go?" And sort of like Hector saying, "On the top floor now." You know, don't. And Studley sort of going, "Oh, let's see what to do next." I think I sort of like put my zippy voice on for Studley.
What are you trying to say?
And I would like you to make for me, please, a composure roll. Okay.
Is that me?
Yeah, because you're getting pretty rough, but as you sort of like keep going, you hear Athena's voice over the airways, and you don't make it yet, and you sort of like hear her saying to you, "Billy Bob, stay calm, wait, just like taking a pop shot, wait for the right time, wait." And you can make you can add 3 dice to your composure roll test. So in situation modifiers, just put +3 in there.
+3.
And you sort of like almost like feel that you sort of like go, you know, and you sort of like slowly calm down. You know, 3 out of 6, well done. And you sort of like think, right, I'm going to keep down it. It's almost like you hear her smoothness coming through to you.
He's thinking back to the time where he was doing ambush drills.
Yeah,
back
good.
in the army.
Yeah.
So he'd be thinking, right, okay, just keep calm, stay with it.
Yeah, and Athena's soft voice coming over the airwaves, you know, through your comlink, is almost like that. You know, when sometimes you get a spotter next door to you, and they're sort of like almost like whispering in your ear to sort of like and to say leave, you know, and you feel it almost like reassuring that she's almost like there with you in that sort of like spotter relationship. Okay, back to Hector.
Hector's going to be sort of like just wandering around, looking at any pictures that there are, if there's any on the walls, or if there's any photographs anywhere. Looking around, like just generally looking around and doing what he would think a journalist would be looking at. So he's going to pause at the bookshelves, making a big show of it and that sort of thing. For the moment. Also, but keeping an eye on the security guard with his, you know, sort of like
the security.
naturally.
Yeah, the security guard is stood there by the door, so he's not blocking the doorway, but he's obviously guarding it in some.
Yeah. And after a goodly while, he's going to say, "Is there anything else I can see up here?" You know, I've got some really good bits, and he's been taking a few notes on his comlink and that sort of thing of various things that he thinks would be interesting for his article.
Yeah.
And it says, "Is there anything else I can see up here?" I see, you know, there's a few other doors. It'd be useful to have a poke my head into some other places, because as obviously I've obviously mistimed this, and the family are not around. But any background information I can have before I meet with them would be really good.
He sort of like says, probably be better if you come back when they're here if you want background information.
Well, I'd like a bit of background information first before I actually interview them, so I know more of what I'm talking about, if you know what I mean.
Well,
because I don't really want to make a fool of myself in front of them and get some very basic things wrong.
Well, they're not here at the moment.
Well, yeah, I realise that. And he's going to take a shot in the dark here, and he says, "I know that there's a sister involved. Do you know? Does she still live here, or is she moved out?" Or
he says, No, she's left. You
Oh,
don't need to be here to see us to see the sister, mate. You're in the wrong place. She's
Okay.
far away from here now.
Do you know why that? You seem to be a little bit hostile towards her. Has she done something wrong? That could be really good for my article.
Let's be quite simple here. I'm paid to guard. I'm not getting into any family business.
But surely you'd know something, because obviously if you're guarding, you're going to be around. You're going to have heard things and seen things. Is there anything that you could tell me about maybe why the sisters left?
What's the insight check in this game? I always forget. Judge intentions.
Judge intentions.
Judge intentions.
Yeah. Roll your judge intentions.
Any modifiers?
No.
3 successes.
Yeah, you think he really doesn't know anything. You really do think he is just a hired guard of a quite low sort of like caliber. He's not sort of like something that would know anything like this. And then you suddenly remember that they've only been called in once the sister had left. And so the chances of them actually of even seeing the sister is very slight, if at all. They probably only know that there's a sister because of the pictures on the wall, or maybe Marcus Jr. had said, "Whatever you do, don't let my sister in." But they're obviously he's telling the truth. He doesn't actually know anything.
Okay. He's going to say, "Is there anything else you can show me up here?" Because as I said, it'd be really useful if there could be.
He says, "There's a bathroom."
What about the bedrooms? Is there anything in the bedrooms I can see?
He looks at you quite sort of like suspicious. He says, "You want me to show you a bedroom?"
Well, just open the door a crack so I can have a peek, because that gives a great insight into someone's personality and what they're like as a person. And that will make great reading. My readers would love to hear about that.
Okay.
They'd love to hear about the personality of the people as well.
Well, roll your con roll.
Any modifiers?
Yeah, you're up to -2.
2 successes.
He says, "I'll show you a bedroom, but don't have any funny business."
No, of course not. I won't touch anything. It's fine.
And he takes you here and shows you the bedroom.
Can I see if this is like a bedroom that is being used recently, or?
Yeah. It looks like it looks like it looks like it's been slept in, and it looks like is it investigation in this game, or is it just perception? Sorry,
I think it's just perception.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any investigation rolls.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So just roll your perception. No modifiers.
Okay. Perception.
Yeah, one success. It looks like the bed has been recently made, and there's various attire on the paraphernalia, such like there's a drinking glass on the side. There's sort of like some old clothes on the back on the cabinet near you there, and it looks like it's been slept in. And the cupboard, can you see the cupboard to the right of you there? That is open, and there seems to be a range of suits in there, quite highbrow suits, quite good suits. So just make an insight check.
What would that be again?
Judge intentions.
Judge intentions.
Judge intentions. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Three
you
successes.
figure that this is most likely to be
The sons.
yeah, Marcus Junior's room.
Okay.
The guy sort of like says, right, he says that's enough. He says
That's right.
let's head downstairs.
He says, Hector goes, closes the door behind him and says, that was really good, thank you. And he says, I don't suppose there's any chance that there's any other rooms you could show me, or anything else. I hear that the master of the house is ill. Would there be any chance that I could just have a peek in to see, take a picture, to be in the article? 'Cause
Okay.
everybody loves a sub story.
Okay, you need to make a con roll now, something like -4, because you've just asked to take a picture of a dying man in a bed.
Come on.
Proper paparazzi.
Does it come up? Oh, there we go. It's just being slow. One success.
He says, I'm not too sure of that, mate. You want to take a picture of a dying man?
Well, it's just another option, because my editor might decide that this is a good angle to run. Dying man leaves fortune to son, or dying man of brilliant, amazing inventor. Sort of like lying destitute in bed. It's the sort of thing that would attract readers. And if I could put your name in it, and you could be part of the article, and
He says, which
it would be
paper?
brilliant for you.
Which paper do you write for?
It's the South Side Oracle, as it says here on, and he pulls out. Hex will pull out his ID and go, look, as it says here on.
Okay, he's looking extremely suspicious now, and he sort of like says, I don't like the sound of this, because if Marcus finds out about this, you're going to be in serious bother. And what he does is that he takes you to here, and he sort of like says, get your camera ready.
Hector will get his camera ready.
And he just sort of like pushes the door open to the left, and he doesn't fully put it open. He just sort of like puts it open enough that you can take your picture. And lo and behold, in the bed there is obviously some kind of, well, he's a dying man, and he's been put in the bed, and his sort of like pillars are plumped up, and you can see his grey ashen face, and he's in one of those typical hospital bed poses. So his arms are over the top of the bed, and then the sheet is across here, and the curtains are drawn, and you can almost like hear a hollow rasping sound that is him breathing. And Mick goes, "You done it?"
Hex goes, yes, taking the picture.
Cool.
Would I be able to have a look at the chart to see what he's dying of?
He sort of like says, "No, I think you misunderstood when I said a hospital pose. There's no hospital beds there or anything. He's just in a hospital pose."
Oh, okay.
So it's like, when people are in hospital and they sort of like whack them into the bed, and they're sort of like strapped. The cloth is so tight across them that they're not going to move. So he's in a normal bed. He's in a completely normal bed. He says, "Are you ready?"
Yes.
He sort of like says, "Well, let's go downstairs then."
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. And as you go down, Bert says, "You're a long time up there." And Mick says, "I'm going to be in a paper."
I can, and I turn to the security guard and says, "I can put you in the paper as well. Have you got anything else that can help me with my investigation?"
He says,
"I've got some really good stuff from your friend here."
He says, "No, I don't think I want to be in your paper."
"Oh, that's okay. That's fine. You don't have to be. I mean, everyone else who's here at the moment, but you don't have to
He
be.
sort of
That's
like
fine."
puts his arm out as if to signal to go down the stairs.
Hector will follow and go downstairs.
Or Mick stays up there, Bert comes down. Anything else?
Hector is going to pause for a while and says, "Do you mind if I have another look at the portraits in the living room?"
The guard looks at his watch and sort of like says, 5 minutes.
"Thank you very much."
Okay, Studley, what would you like to do?
Is this computer system on?
Yes, it is. There's a soft hum in the background.
Is there anything on the display unit?
Yeah,
On
it seems to be flashing a certain. It's almost like awaiting a digit, like an input.
Right. Okay. I just don't know. I'm just going to have to wait.
Okay.
If he's going to wait until he gets asked for help, and then
Okay.
if another member of the team needs help, then he'll step in. But
Cool. Billy Bob, what would you like to do?
Is it time yet? Time to go.
Athena sort of like says, Billy Bob, I don't think so. I think there's somewhat of a delay. There seems to be somewhat of a delay.
Fudge nuggets.
Athena contacts you, Studley, and says, "Is there a delay?"
I've no idea. I mean, when I checked in with Mr. Bob and Hector was actually on the top floor, which I think that's where this other gentleman who's dying is. So I presume it's just a matter of waiting now for him to do his Dilly Bob with the ring.
Excellent. Studley,
Yes.
you might want to listen carefully. Could you make a perception roll for me, please?
oh my God, what's all these? Hide and used. Oh, there we go. Oof, that was lucky. 3.
Yeah. Do you want to change a little? It's coming up as Chuggerwugger.
Ah, sorry.
Yeah. Big Beasties is as well. You sort of
Oh,
like...
his is coming up as Chuggerwugger.
No, he's coming as a big beastie. You suddenly hear, you can almost like hear this sniffing outside the shed door, and you can every now and again the door sort of like moves slightly backwards and forwards as if something's trying to edge its way in. The lock's fine at the moment, but there's definitely something out there trying to get back in. It doesn't take much to think about it. You think it's the dogs. You think it's
Good
probably
dogs.
the dogs coming
Studley's
back?
going to get back on the comms again and go,
Studley here. I may have a bit of a problem shortly. I could really do with being out of this shed. ETA?
Hector's going to get back on the comms. Gone. It's not gone well. I've been taken downstairs. Might need a distraction to get rid of the guard
I've got
downstairs.
bloody
so I can
dogs
sneak
outside
upstairs.
now. It's a bit late now. When you were out there, I could have smashed a window or something.
Athena says, gentlemen, let's keep calm. Let's keep calm about it.
do we know what the sun looks like?
Yes, you're quite. He's one of these people who has a very thin face, a very angular features, and a little goatee and a little moustache, a very prominent nose, and all his black hair is sort of like slicked back, with or some kind of like artificial brill cream. Very sort of like hollowed out cheeks, very prominent brow.
Okay. Have I had any other communication from anybody else? No, is there?
No.
No.
Billy Bob, could you please make for me your composure roll? Just do it
Any
normally.
modifiers?
No, because Athena doesn't actually know that you're going to do this, because you're actually pretty fed up now that you've been lying in this tube
There
for
we
the
go.
thing, and you just sort of like you start to communicate that to the party now, and you just sort of like said, "I need to get out of here. Need to get out of here."
Stinks down here.
Yeah, exactly. Athena sort of like says, "Stay calm." Billy Bob, stay calm.
Got one success.
Yeah,
Take it.
you're staying in there for the present moment in time.
So the only way in and out of this actual shed that I'm in at the moment is via this door.
Yes.
Is that
yeah.
correct? Currently, there's 2 dogs outside. How big were they? Alsatian type?
Yeah,
dogs?
more sort of like Alsatian size, but probably built like Rottweilers.
Okay. Studley's going to go on to comms and say,
Athena, is there any chance of you maybe persuading these dogs to leave the building that I'm in currently, so that I can possibly sort out Hector's job?
She goes, Studley, what do you wish me to do?
Well, do not do anything. Don't worry, I'll sort it. It's obviously one-man band here.
Would you like me to cause a distraction?
Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, she says, one moment. And you hear the faint distant sound of her Lockheed optic drone coming down. And she obviously does some kind of flyby past the dogs. And the dogs sort of like think, oh, good grief, what is this? And this sort of like, hang on a minute, let me just roll my dice. No successes. The dogs get no successes.
these dogs are rubbish.
I know. And
First of all, they critically glitch, and now they get no
I know,
successes.
literally no successes. 6 dice as well, 0 on 6. And you hear sort of like those of the drone, and you hear these dogs running off, barking after this drone, obviously playing almost like tag with it. Billy Bob, can you make your composure roll? Add 2 dice to it, please. But you're at -2 because you're repeating it now, and it's becoming more and more difficult. So you're at 0.
-2.
No,
Sorry
you're
about
at, you're
that. I
at
just had a
0.
phone
Yeah.
call. What? -2 to modifiers, or
Yeah, but I'm giving you +2. So you're just like
Oh,
0. You're just doing
0.
a bare
Okay.
roll now. Nothing.
Can that come through?
No.
I think they're just being slow again. Mine took a while to come up.
Wait for it.
Roll it
Drum
again.
roll.
Roll it again.
Composure. Submit.
Oh, there you go. Well done.
There he is.
What? You're hanging in there, Billy Bob. You are really hanging in there. You are so cross at the present moment in time. You can
He's getting restless and moving around, and the more he moves around, the more the stink kicks up.
yeah, and
you know
the wetness is actually seeping through your armored jacket now, or your armored vest, and you can actually feel it against your skin. It's actually against your skin underneath it, you know, and it's sort of like seeped through your trousers now, you know, so you can feel it. Your trousers are sort of like sticking to your leg with the moisture, and you are none too chuffed.
He's going to come over the comms and say, "Hurry up and sort it out."
We're just waiting for Hector at the moment. Are you ready for the diversion yet, Hector?
When you are,
Yes?
whenever you're ready.
Okay, so with the coast being clear, Studley's going to go out of the door of the area that he's in, and looking round the corner, he's hopefully going to be able to see the window where what was described as the
This
looking
one?
out the window. Yeah, but I want to go one up.
On the first floor.
Yeah, so
one.
this one here.
Yeah, cool.
And focusing his magic, he is going to cast at the window clout.
Cool.
So he sort of like does a funny punch, and he's going to try to smash
Cool. Go for it.
the window. This is going to in at force 6.
Don't critically fail. Nice one.
Just make sure I don't have my edge on.
Job done.
Drop down. Well, hopefully. I know it's the downstairs guard I need.
How many? 14?
Yeah, so I did 6. So this
6 or
is
14,
is
yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm just calling up the standard glass. Let me just roll this. Okay, so the glass is the standard glass, so it absorbs one of them, one of your successes. So you actually do 5. What's it? 5 physical.
No, it will be if it's absorbed one of them, it's doing 11 physical.
Okay, so all of a sudden you sort of like draw back your arm and go like that, and the force of the spell whacks out, and it just blows this glass inward altogether. You Hector, in your room, you hear sort of like people over comms saying, break in, action, take action, second floor, and you hear running outside your outside your door, as if they're. Just make a perception roll for me.
Oh.
Yeah,
One success.
you hear running, going up the stairs. Athena comes over comms. She's obviously heard the shattering glass, even as she's playing tag with this thing, and she sort of like goes. You hear her go. Is it a go? Is it a go?
Hector,
Hector's a go.
Okay.
Hector, as
All
soon
of a
as- as
sudden,
soon as you
Billy
see the
Bob.
guy-
Billy Bob, you hear Athena's voice, and she says, "Billy Bob, go, go, go." Like this.
At this point, Hector is going to run for the service stairs to get up to the top floor bedroom.
Yeah. Okay then. Move yourself
Studley's
there.
going to go back in and close the door.
Billy Bob, can you roll double strength, please?
So that'd be a normal roll, wouldn't it? And just roll.
Yeah. Just add up your strength, and then
That's crap.
yeah, no, 3 successes is enough. You take an almighty. You sort of like hear the command to go, 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 and you just sort of like bash against this wooden thing with all your pent up anger that you've had from sitting in this tube of decaying matter and liquid, and the wooden slats sort of like burst open, and you suddenly notice as you burst through, your eyes, your superb eyes imagery sort of like catches going over in slow motion what appears to be a wine rack that was pressed up against the wall, and you can see just next to it there's another one, and this wine rack just sort of like clashes down to the floor, and you notice that there's false wine, sort of like, actually you might, from the smell, you might actually think some of this might actually be real. There might actually be some vintage wine here that you've just smashed all over the place, and you sort of like almost like tumble out into the room. Okay, and we'll pick that up from there. Whereabouts is Hector? I'm trying to find Hector.
Hector's on the 3rd floor. He's outside the
Hang
old man's
on.
bedroom.
Sorry, I thought you said that you were heading to the service.
Yeah, I said he's going to head to the service stairs and go straight up to
So
the bedroom.
you will be at the service
Okay,
stairs now. Okay, so that's all right. Studley, you're back in the room in the
Yeah, Studley's going to position himself behind the computer terminal, sit down, and you see him push his glasses back up further onto his nose, and he's in position on the keyboard. I take it it's one of these ones that's sort of like electric ones that comes up and you just type on. It's not a proper keyboard.
Yeah.
And he's waiting patiently now for the code to access the archive.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Hector, you're moving up to.
Yeah. When he's going to go up normal speed at the first flight of stairs, but when he gets to the landing and the second flight of stairs on the 2nd floor, he wants to move fairly quickly but quietly. He doesn't want to draw any further attention.
Cool. So you are down. You can see whereabouts you are. So you're up at the top of those stairs now. You're on the top floor. Billy Bob, you need to make a perception roll.
Oh, that's in skills, isn't it?
Yeah.
Two successes.
Yeah, you can definitely hear footsteps coming down the corridor here. Are you on the map?
Yeah.
Coming down, it's obviously coming down that corridor towards you.
Okay. So,
Just
Billy
out of
Bob wants
interest,
to-
sorry, just out of interest, you hear Athena coming off over the airways. She's taken the Lockheed up high now since she took the dogs for a merry run, and now they're sort of like sniffing at something behind a tree. And she's reporting 2 security guards in the second floor room overlooking the shed. Yeah, Billy Bob, what would you like to do?
Okay, so Billy Bob's going to come up to the corner and wait for whoever it is to come round, and then he's gonna punch him in the face. In fact, he's going to use his blade. He's going to use his blade on him. So hopefully it's a maid.
Okay, you notice that round the corner comes a rather lapsed, suited security guard who seems to almost like he sort of like comes round the corner and almost like sees you sort of like stood there. He seems to have no weapons out, although as he sees you, he goes in for his what appears to probably be is a gun inside his jacket. However, you do have surprise on him.
Right. Okay. So, where's my handblade? My handblade's gone missing.
It's in your arm, isn't it?
It was. Don't worry, it's gone. Main. Weapons. Handblade. There he is. 5 successes.
Okay, so he can't dodge this, but he can armor soak it. What is it? -2 for your handblade. AP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, he gets 0. Okay, he also critically glitches on it as well, so he hasn't got much hope here. So you actually do. Is it 14p?
What do I get? 5 successes at 9p.
Yeah, so that's 14p. So that takes that out. Yeah, so as he comes round, tell me where you want to stick this handblade.
Right between the eyes.
Okay, so he comes round and you just go straight into in between his eyes, and you see him almost like his eyes widen and his mouth a gasp as you sort of like sink it through the nose cavity into his brains, and then sort of like pull it out with sort of like almost like purple decaying sort of like stuff on it, and bring it out, and the guy instantly falls to the floor. He appears to be well and truly dead. He's just had a blade through his neck, through his
Quick,
skull.
ask him for the code.
Okay, Hector.
Mm-hmm. Hector is going to, now on the top floor, he's going to move straight to the old man's bedroom, open the door, close the door. If there's a lock on the door, he wants to lock himself in for the moment.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
He's going to go to the bed. He's going to take the cap off the jewel of the ring, rub the ring so he puts the enchantment on.
So he's now, the mask spell comes on, and he's sort of like you turn into the sister. Yeah. You can see yourself in the mirror. You're quite a good-looking blonde, quite shapely, nice narrow waists. You probably think perhaps your hips are a little bit too big, but maybe a couple of hours at the gym might help with that. And you look quite alluring in your in what you've almost like got on, sort of like a business suit, pencil line skirt, high heels, what appears to be some kind of stocking stuff around your legs.
Okay. He's then going to get his comlink out, put it on the bed, and he's going to get the needle out that has the revival serum in it, and he wants to inject it into
Yeah.
the
Okay,
old man.
roll some kind of medical roll or first aid skill.
Okay, where would that be? Scientific skills?
It should-
First aid.
yeah.
This is going to go horribly wrong. One success.
Right, you sort of like take a few goes at sort of like jabbing him into the arm with it. You sort of like seen it on television in sort of like A&E practice that they do something with a vein in the arm, and you sort of like tap it for a few times like that, and you just take the serum and think, guess it goes in there, and goes like that, and sort of like eject the full dosage. Yeah.
Unless I was told otherwise.
Click. Do a memory test. Yeah, you think you were told to give the full dosage, so you just like go, and it also like goes into the guy's arm. Studley, what
Okay.
would you like to do?
Studley is still waiting for the password so that he can start. He's got the USB ready, or the data chip ready, so that he can put it in as soon as he's typed in the password.
Yeah, got ya.
But at this rate, he's going to think it's a number, and he's going to start at 00001 and go 00002 and then
Okay.
00003
It doesn't
and just
look-
keep going.
It doesn't look like it's got a set number of tries before it sort of like locks you out or anything like that. It just looks like you can still doing it.
He'll try hippopotamus.
It definitely numbers.
All right.
Well, actually, you don't know. Hippopotamus is going to access denied. Access denied. Billy Bob, what would you like to do?
Billy Bob's gonna just stand there for a second and listen to make sure that no one else is coming.
Okay,
And then he's gonna search.
make a perception roll first. Yeah.
Yeah. My bad. Perception. 3.
Yeah, you can't hear anybody coming down or anything at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, he's going to search the body, looking for anything that looks like a password that he could give to. I was going to say Phase then. Herbert.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
call him Herbert.
Make an extended perception check for me, please.
How do you do that?
So you down at the bottom, you should have extended test,
Oh, yeah.
and then if you just put 8 dice in it, and then
Yep.
your next one will be minimum number of dice will be 0. Number of successes, just put 1, and then submit it.
15.
Hang on, so I need to see 6.
Which is
3 on the
0.
first one, 4 on the second one,
Yeah,
and then a
thank
1,
you.
2, 2, 2.
Excellent.
Oh,
thank you.
sorry.
3, 4. Okay then.
That's the
So-
password.
Yeah. Okay then. So you're busy, sort of like raking through this guy's clothes at the present moment of time, trying to frisk him down to see whether or not you've got anything. Yeah. Hector, what would you like to do?
As soon as Hector's finished injecting the.
Oh yes.
the
Sorry.
inventor-
Yeah. The old man goes. And suddenly, sort of like comes to life, and he seems extremely alert, and he's sort of like looking round, and he sort of like looks at you and says, "Elizabeth."
Yes.
You got to do a voice.
Yes.
Yes, Daddy.
What
It's me.
are you doing here?
I've come to see you. He's changing the will. He's and then Hector's going to give him the password.
Yeah, it's kiss me quick on the lips, Daddy.
Kiss me quick on the lips, Daddy.
Oh no, sorry, that wasn't it.
Get me playing.
He's sort of like, is that really you, Elizabeth?
It is, Daddy.
What are you doing here?
He's, as I said, my brother's changed the will. He's changed it without your knowledge. We need to change it back quick. You need to sign this. Hector's going to pass his comlink that has the preloaded will that we'd been given, ready for him to sign.
The old man says, Elizabeth, I need my glasses. I can't read without my glasses. And he's sort of like looking around to both sides on the table. Hector, and you all hear Athena's voice over comm. She says, Hector, incoming, like that. And Billy Bob, you seem to find a little card. Okay, it seems to be a card that opens doors of some description. You know, like the ones that you have in hotels. And it seems to have a 10-digit code on it.
Right. Billy Bob's gonna explain what he's got to Athena. Here's Athena, isn't it?
Yeah, Athena or Studley. Studley's the person who needs it.
Well, yeah, I'll comms with both then.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll just for confirmation that this is what it is. This is what they need. So yeah, he's going to refer that information back.
Hello, Studley here. Is that you, Mr. Bob?
I've got the card. I've got a card.
What?
Numbers here. What's the numbers?
Okay, stand by, and go.
7.
And go.
7.
7. Entered. And the next one.
7.
7.
7.
6, 5,
and
4.
the next one.
6, 5.
6. And, sorry, 6 and
5.
5 and
4. 1.
4 and
2.
2.
I'm not even giving the numbers now.
0. 5.
0.
9.
9.
Decimal point.
Is that them all?
Period.
Period.
Yeah. Athena's voice comes over again. Incoming, Hector. Hector, incoming. That's the code actually enters in. Studley, and you're into the computer. Hector.
Hector's going to go quickly, Daddy. My brother's hired security guards to keep me out. I need to get you to sign this now. I assure you, it's the same as last time.
He sort of like he sort of like finds his glasses and he's looking up and down it and trying to sort of like read it, and he sort of like says, "I can do this for you, my daughter. I can do it." And his finger comes out and touches the pad, and as he touches the pad, the door behind you bursts open, and there's a security guard there, and he points his gun and he says, "Hold it right there, Mister, Mrs." like that, and points the gun. And we will and we will leave it. We'll have a quick 5-minute break at that point, I think. So,
your breasticles.
Stop it, really, Mark.
You haven't seen what he's been writing in the private chat. It's ridiculous.
So, guys, we are going to take a quick 5-minute break. So please do go away and grab a coffee or grab something to drink, and we will be back in how long, guys? In 5. Thank you for everybody who joined in and put. Oh, Chugga Wugga's gone. Chuckle goes. He's actually gone. We'll be back soon, guys. Don't go away.